That was really intense.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Like,
It goes
love
in
it.
my background.
Right?
Yeah, it gets me amped up. So that's why we
I
do
like
it.
it.
It's all
That's
And it's
good.
so funny because we're not intense at all.
Right. And then we come on
right.
and we're like,
Yeah,
hey.
like
Like, hey, guys.
what's going on? Hey, crypto heads! It's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. As you can see, we're gonna have an amazing show already. We're all already jiving here.
We got dinosaurs.
We got dinosaurs down there. I mean, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. So
That's
I'm excited. D, real quick, how are you doing? How was your week?
great. Great.
Yeah. She set up an extra birthday date.
Yeah. I
You're
have
right.
2 birthdays this year. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I think that it was deliberately set up so she could get birthday wishes for 2 days in a
I
row.
just needed a little
Right.
extra attention, so I asked somebody to post a day early that it was my birthday, and
You know, I'm not saying I don't understand what you're saying. I'm just
I
saying.
mean,
Maybe
was
your
in my
birthday's
20s, I had
different in
birthday
different
week.
dimensions.
There
yeah,
you
that's
go.
what it is.
Yeah, they collided for one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
What's
doing
up,
good, though.
Heisenberg? Good.
Yeah.
Good. What's up, Heisenberg? How are you doing?
All right.
All right, perfect.
Great.
Man of many words, as
Moving
usual.
on.
And right down there, we got our special guest, Lauren. How are you? Hellekson. So
I'm
excited to
super
have you on.
awesome.
Good. Good.
We
good.
meant
Good.
today, not in general.
See what she did? Or wait, see what she did?
Yeah, I liked it. It made me blush. Have you guys ever heard of neurotropics?
No.
Maybe.
Yes,
like-
I've heard the term.
they're
I
like
have not
treatments.
ever heard the term. Could you explain
They're like
it for
different
Ray?
mushrooms. They're like different like mushrooms and plants. And I
Okay,
just started
yeah.
taking them today, and I'm loopy.
Did you get like the coffee one?
Okay, so I didn't know that there was 100 milligrams of fucking caffeine in them, and then 2 cups of coffee later.
Oh no!
Oh shit! Damn.
So I'm kind of like,
Noise.
I'm kind of noise. I like that giggle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, now that you're all happy and ready to go. That's it. Oh, I'm like, who put that up? That's her. Okay.
I did.
Hey, Kristen. All right, I got.
Kristen and Jackie are watching from eating dinner right now.
Nice.
Oh,
I hope you guys are having like ravioli or something.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Anyways, I got
Oh,
sidetracked.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That's what we do. We go off the rail right away. It's
Yes.
the way this. There's no wheels.
No.
So
No, I just meant about talking about ravioli.
They
Right.
fell off like 6 or 7 years ago before we
Right.
even had the show.
yeah, right. Yeah. The minute Heisenberg showed up, it was all
And his weed whackers and his trimmers.
Right.
right.
Oh, they just
Throwing
ordered
us all off.
Chinese.
And his
Also
garages. Oh, okay.
It's a good choice.
I've been really getting into lo mein.
No?
Oh, yeah?
Homemade or
No, I have been getting into it. Like
Oh yeah,
instead
it's
of
like
fried
Chinese
rice.
spaghetti, man.
homemade, or are you making it, or are you ordering it?
I'm ordering it.
Oh, okay.
But I've never tried it before, and like a couple months ago I tried it, and now I can't get enough of it.
Well, shit.
See?
It's good.
And here I am on my liquid diet, just ready
I
to
know, I'm
reach
so
through the
sorry.
freaking-
And Lauren's just like eating chips.
Oh, I don't care. It's fine. I'm actually doing okay. It's only
It's
day
vegan
2 though.
jerky, if that makes you feel better.
Oh.
You're probably not very jealous of it.
No.
Yeah, we're okay.
So when we have special guests on, we always like to, every comic book has its superhero, and every superhero has its origin story.
Oh, shit.
And so we got to start with that, obviously. Lauren, what is your origin story? How did you get started in this weird shit that we do?
I'll tell you guys. It was way too much caffeine today. All right.
Oh yeah,
So-
always extra egg roll.
Once upon a time, I was a little kid. And all right. I'll get professional for like a second. I feel like everybody has their like, I grew up in a haunted house. I did
Yeah.
not grow up in a haunted house, but I was a fucking dork. I'm assuming we can cuss on this.
Oh
so
yeah,
we're fine.
go
Yeah.
for it.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
I was a fucking dork, so I was always playing pretend. And I used to take my dad's like over the shoulder camcorder and like make movies. And
Yeah.
I was like doing badass stuff, like stop motion shit.
Nice.
And I was super, I'm like, I don't even think I could do that now. I was super into Dean Koontz and like horror and whatever horror movies I could get like my tiny young little eyeballs on. So lots of like late night, probably inappropriate shit, but that's when all the horror movies were on. And so I think that's what got me into like the not just the paranormal, but like the what's the bigger genre other than paranormal? The supernatural.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
And so then I don't think I actually had like a concrete paranormal experience, like, holy shit, I think ghosts are actually a thing, until probably like late teens, early 20s.
Oh wow. Okay.
Definitely early 20s.
Yeah.
Like I just thought it was just like me. Like, oh, this stuff is just spooky, but it's like not real. We just run up from the basement for no reason. It's like that fight or flight, like allegory of the cave kind of thing.
Right.
And I think everybody had that moment in 2004 on the Sci-Fi Channel where we were all just kind of like, oh shit, people do this for a living. That's dope.
Right.
I was just talking about that. Yes.
So fucking cool.
Yep.
Dude, when I met Jason Hawes, I fucking bawled my eyes out.
I was
cried.
blowing kisses to Josh Gates when I was watching him up on stage.
Oh man,
It's like, hey,
I
buddy,
would
call me.
I would also cry if I met Josh Gates.
Yeah. He's our favorite.
He's amazing. But like, so definitely paranormal experiences happening like in my 20s. And then that's when I actively started to go search for it. I couldn't afford anything though. So it was really hard to like go to haunts or go to investigation. So I was just doing it around like my local Ravenna area. I lived in a really old apartment building. We used to ghost hunt there. I would do.
Did you say
haunted
Ravenna?
tours. Fuck yeah.
You're from
Ravenna
Portage County?
Ravens. What? Portage County? Yeah.
Crestwood Red Devils.
Oh, no shit. Didn't we fucking kick your ass all the time? Just
Yeah,
kidding. I didn't
Ray,
do
your
anything
team
with
sucks.
sports. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I was a pothead and a dork.
I was
That's
a
fair.
pothead and a band geek. So
When did you graduate?
95.
Oh.
I think my dad graduated. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say she was probably born in '95.
Yeah. How old would that make me now? I'm 30. I mean, I would be 27. Yeah, born in 95.
Yeah.
No. So yeah.
Sidetrack.
And then
So
what
yeah, you
happened?
grew up in Ravenna.
Grew up in Ravenna. Well, then you would know Ravenna downtown. I used to investigate.
Yeah.
We investigated Riddle Block number 9.
Wow.
I used to go. One year I did a haunted tour, and we would go to all the different tours, and I would do some like ghost hunting at the different spots, and so it was all just local stuff. And I think I was maybe like in my 30s when I did my first like public investigation at the House of Wills.
Oh wow. It's a
Oh,
hell of a
yes.
place to
Love it.
start.
Yes,
I know,
that
right?
is,
That's
like,
and I won a contest for an EVP. It was badass.
Nice.
really nice.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. We love the house. Well, Heisenberg and I love the House of Wills.
It's
We
beautiful.
gotta-
I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
I
we
like
gotta
it. I
get-
mean, it was one hell of a first. Oh, Mama Bear!
I'm a bear.
Yay! I love her so fucking much.
We do too.
Is that what,
So,
is Happy
yeah, I
Friend
was
Day
like-
what they call the birthday eve? Is that what's going on?
Birthday Eve.
I don't know. Maybe that's for everybody else.
Oh,
Is
Happy
it
birthday,
National
Eve.
Friend Day or something?
Oh, I don't
What?
know.
I don't know.
Now it is. Every
I
day's
can't-
National
I can't
Friend
keep-
Day.
I can't keep track of all the national days.
It's
Right.
National Left Sock Day.
I almost broke my my laptop with spittle.
Spit coffee.
Oh.
We can't drink coffee.
Mhm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Decaf.
So they now here I am.
there she is.
Well, there's this whole like space and time where you started building the amazing REM pods that you.
Yeah,
How did you get
man.
into the building part of that?
I Oh man, afterwards you guys are gonna be like, fuck this chick. We're never having her on again. I with her dinosaur background. That also kind of started now with me being a huge dork. If I wasn't trying to make really cool stop motion movies with my dad's camcorder, I was like taking apart the family television, like the one in the basement that I was like, nobody knows this is down here. We're in the basement. I'm gonna take it apart.
Right. There you go.
And I was always kind of like the fixer and the builder, and my dad just gave up and finally started bringing home like old busted ass computers to take apart. I just wanted to see the inside of everything.
Yeah.
And when I got like my first motorcycle in my 20s, and I was like, what can I do? I don't want to take apart the whole engine. So I learned how to rebuild carburetors because it was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely set some fires. So it's always been like I want to know how to build it. I want to know what's inside of it. And then when you're poor and you want to get into ghost hunting and you see everybody using all this cool shit, you're like, well, I can't afford that. So I started looking for alternatives, like less expensive alternatives. And thankfully, YouTube has so much so much access to just like how to build shit. So I started messing around with just like repurposing, rebuilding, putting together stuff. And like these are super popular, like the proximity sensors that look like this.
Yeah.
People convert them and they put an antenna on them and a light on them. These are actually what I use when I do the build class.
Okay.
I teach people how to change it into a REM pod.
Yeah.
And so I started working with these because Greg Fiketic from Tri-C Ghost Hunters, his broke. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to fix it and take it apart.
It's my time to shine.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. And he was like, okay, here you go. And I was like, oh, fuck, I could build this too. And then I wanted it to look like a DOS REM pod, but prettier. So I just covered it in fucking rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were like, take my firstborn, take my soul. Can I buy it? And I was like, I guess. And then here we are.
Awesome. That's
perfect.
So cool. Is there a design behind your thought process to like what crystals you put on what, or is it just basically, is it like more of an aesthetic thing? Like this just looks nice.
It depends on. So I'm going to sound like a really big fucking overachiever throughout this goddamn thing.
Hey, that'll be the one out of the four of us. That'll be you and Denise.
So perfect. I love it. Good. We should be the overachievers. So I'm still a yoga instructor. Like I still have my certifications. But I used to own a studio, and Jen, she has a live tonight that I'm going to try to bother them on. I owned a yoga studio, and I had a little boutique in the yoga studio, and I had a whole bunch of crystals. So we would do, and I'm also a Reiki master, and we would use a lot of crystals in energy healing. And when I started teaching, I'm getting so distracted by like, hi Nick, tell Bria I said hi Jen, hi guys, hey everybody. I don't want you to think that I don't see you. I see you. I love you so much.
For those just joining us, she's had a lot of caffeine today.
So much. I might just fall and then I'll be done and it's over.
That's what's going to happen. You're going to be in mid-sentence and you're just going to go
crash.
That's why I have the dinosaurs up.
Yep, we can just enjoy the dinosaurs.
Yeah. And doing energy healing and using crystals, there's a lot of like the mysticism and like spiritual practices that have to do with the minerals of the stones, and then there's a very applicable aspect to it as well too, with just the minerals that are in the human body. So there's a lot of like the spiritual and biological that goes into it. So when I was doing the crystal pods, I wanted to have the spiritual and metaphysical aspect of the paranormal very present, because I think it's something that we're missing, because we've scienced the fuck out of the paranormal, which is cool. Like I'm here for it, but we're losing the fact that sure, we're trying to make this a field of study, but we're still fucking hunting for ghosts.
Right.
Like,
right.
there's right now there's nothing scientific about that. And
Right.
and we want to make it so fucking sciencey, which is totally cool, but Jesus Christ, guys, they're fucking ghosts.
Right.
Right.
And also there's no reason we can't combine the two of them.
Well, it's like if somebody comes out with a pendulum, people like roll their eyes, and it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
you're
yeah.
looking for your fucking Aunt Jeannie with the chains around her. What are you doing, dude? She's dead. Like, you don't even know if she's fucking around, guys.
Right.
And so dinosaurs are freaking important, Holly.
Yeah.
And so I wanted
Yes.
I'd be down
wanted
for
to
that.
be very clear that even though I really do a lot with experimentation when it comes to like, you know, theoretical physics and like energy, I'm very much like, I like to have my feet in sort of like the witchcraft, the spiritual, the
Right.
metaphysical, and then like the science-based,
Right.
you know, theoretical physics based,
Right.
nothing to do
Right.
with the paranormal. Very, very separate. And so yeah. So to answer your question, because I didn't, because why the fuck would I do that? Yes, science and magic, mysticism, and the paranormal. Yes. I could have just said that.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
No, that was fine. That was
Yes,
fine.
there is intention.
No, we
Most
need
crystals-
answers.
Most 100% of crystals have a metaphysical like protection aspect. So no matter what
Mhm.
fucking stones you put on there, it offers some amount of spiritual protection. So that's like the easy route to it.
But like, okay, so
Right.
how much spiritual protection though? Because like, are you creating a barrier around
that
the
is a
REM pod?
great question. And no, you are essentially just creating this. It's like a condom on your equipment. Nothing's going to come home with it. Nothing's going to follow it, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
But they could still get to like
They
the
can
antenna. and
absolutely. And this is all personal. There are multiple Laurens. Nick, I'm going to send number 4 after you if you tell people
Right.
that. I mean, just kidding. Just kidding.
No, son number 5. She's way more of a bitch.
Look, I like how my teeth are like,
Disappear.
where is it? I don't know, dinosaur in my mouth. I think it's called stasis or thesis or something. Nick, stop telling people that. It's not true. It's not true, guys. It's not true.
Hey,
It's
Brian.
not true. No, so theoretically speaking, stones aren't going to protect against actual. They're not going to. I'm sorry. They're not going to repel ghosts, guys. I'm so sorry
Right.
about that. I don't know what to
Mhm.
tell you. It is going to create like a barrier so that they can't attach to you. They can't come home with you or anything like
Right.
that. In like the applied mystical theory of it. And then if you're somebody who just thinks they're pretty, then they're just fucking pretty.
Right.
Which, speaking of,
Right.
Denise, do you like stones? Do you like crystals?
I do. Yeah. I don't understand them enough though.
Girl, me neither. Don't
Like,
worry about it.
I can't,
There's way too much to understand. Don't fucking stress out about it.
I can't like look at one and be like, oh, that's for this, and
Oh,
this. But
fuck
I
that,
can
me
look at it and
neither.
go, oh my
Right.
gosh, that's pretty.
I got
I'm
the
so
Crystal
sorry.
Bible.
If anybody can point it out and list all of its properties, they're fucking bullshitting you.
I
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
mean,
sorry.
but I do like to like walk the beach and collect pretty stones, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the aesthetics, but I don't understand the science.
Mystically, there is no science.
I got stones right here.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna.
see?
Well, then
I would take that. That's cool.
Oh, that's
It has
awesome.
shiny
I like
things
that.
parts in it.
That's
have you
really
ever
cool.
seen Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal? I found
Yes.
this piece of amethyst, and I was like, "It's the fucking crystal shard," and it's a
Yeah,
it's a real
awesome.
piece of amethyst.
that's really cool.
I love it.
You are disappearing. Oh my gosh.
I know. Should I just take my background off?
No.
I got some other tricks up my sleeves. Okay, I don't actually.
No,
know how to do it.
I'm in the same camp. I have no. I love crystals. I always carry a bloodstone.
that's
It's
where
like
I'm
a carved grizzly bear that's small enough to fit in my pocket. I base it on what I pick up and what feels good.
Yes.
Mhm. Right.
You know, if I get like a that tingly thing going on where I was like, I like this.
Yes, that's
something
exactly
that I need.
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's where going back to the pendulum thing. Our friend Nora Custer, she sells gems and crystals, and she makes pendulums, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you know what? I broke down. I'm gonna buy one of these pendulums. I just want to see what it's like. I came from a group that like you didn't do that. You can only use this certain equipment, and it was like one of those super sciencey. We're here to debunk things. We're not here to really kind of like figure out
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
This group really scarred Ray.
Yeah. So she's like, just pick one up and kind of feel what it feels like, you know. And she's like, just ask, give me yes, give me no, and you know, it just kind of judge by the way it felt in her hand and the motion. Well, I went to pick up. I didn't know it was a bloodstone at the time, but it was a bloodstone, and the thing literally almost it swung into my hand while it was still on the stand. Like I didn't even pick it up yet. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is going to be interesting. This is kind of like Harry Potter, where
Harry
the wand
Potter's
chooses the
wand,
wizard.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, the pendulum chose the goose.
The wind blew
That's
through your
awesome.
hair.
Yeah, right. Nothing blew up. The lights just
couldn't
went
see it,
real
though.
bright and then down. Yeah.
You
And then
could
the
get-
angels sang.
Yeah. No, I
I
think
mean-
that there's I used to bring, so I have this thing at my vendor shows called the crystal bar, where it's literally just this tray that I just dump a shit ton of rocks on.
Yeah.
And I used to have, I'm pointing like you could see my bookshelf. I used to have where my hand is no longer here. I used to have, I would bring these books of these identifiers so that you can like, oh, if you want this or that. And I got rid of those books. And it was all about just like, dig your hand through this. See what feels good. See what feels warm.
Yeah.
See what feels tingly.
Right.
And then like, that's your stone. Don't fucking worry about what it's just the same thing again. We're like sciencing the shit out of mysticism.
Right.
And now everybody's like afraid of this stone, or they all want this stone.
Right.
Just like
Yeah.
your body's chemistry is going to be affected by a completely different set of like minerals and stones and crystals than somebody else's.
Right.
And we didn't have fucking crystal books, you know, hundreds of years ago.
Right.
We
They were
just,
making pendulums out of acorns. You know,
you know
what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
seriously. So this like,
I never heard of that.
Oh,
I'm going to fucking make you an acorn necklace. Okay.
Right.
I will. A good
I
one.
have one. Kathy Santori bought me one. An acorn
Oh,
necklace.
I love her. She's a
I know.
sweetheart.
That's awesome.
And that's the other thing too, is I think that people follow the books way too much. You know, I try to explain to people all the time, like, you know, if I feel like this pencil is going to protect me, then it's going to protect me. Not because this pencil is powerful, but because my mind is powerful. So I think people take way too much, like, I don't know, you don't have to follow the book. If you believe that this green stone or this purple one or this pretty shiny one will protect you, then it's going to, because
they don't take credit for their own magic. They want to, they think that it's everything else instead of what's inside them.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of like, I don't want to say like debunk, because I do believe that they have like powers, but I feel like most of it is the person holding it.
It is. And sometimes it's just like, I'm going to quote myself. Sometimes like the magic of it is the excuse that we need to realize that like we are what holds the power.
Right. It's like Dumbo and the feather.
Yeah. Kristen is saying some of the healing stones have lithium, which is used to treat some mental health issues.
Yeah.
If you want to go into this, like the actual science sector of it, I mean, we have minerals that are inside of those stones that are used medically. I mean, but just from a metaphysical standpoint, the metaphysical applications of it, if you hold a certain stone, it is not necessarily going to cure your ailments. That is something that needs to be ingested. It needs to be inside of your, and just now there are some, of course, stones that are water soluble that can get inside your bloodstream. And there's all of those things like that, you know, but just me.
That's why I'm saying 90% of the time.
Yes, exactly. And then also like the quartz, I put the quartz on the pod that we sell in the Ghost Hunter store. And we even add there that it's an amplifier. It's an energetic amplifier. And it is. It's in our phones. It's in the fucking TV. It's in like there are scientific applications and medical applications of crystals and stones and minerals. But like how we're using it in the metaphysical and the paranormal,
Right.
I think it's just like an excuse for you. It's like a
like
satiating your fears and things like that. It's like a security blanket.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then spiritually, for me, it's a possibility that I think that you should be cleansing your equipment, cleansing your cases, cleansing your clothes, before and after a haunt, just in case something can attach onto you. So the metaphysical reason to put them on the pods is just so something can't, latch on, stone theory, grab onto that fucking wood that it's made out of and travel home with you. So
right.
There's that.
And they look pretty.
I'm such an advocate for. I'm just such an advocate for like people should believe in themselves a lot more than they do, and the power of manifesting and protecting yourself and all of the things that your brain can do.
Denise, have you read my book?
No, I don't have time to read.
You sound like you've read my book.
I
I
should,
and I'm here for it.
Throw that up there.
You don't fucking you don't fucking need to.
So
you're good.
So that I can read it like people watch football and like every time I turn the page, be like, yes. Yeah.
I will say it's really short because I have ADHD. So it was written for somebody who has ADHD, and it has fucking coloring pages in it.
Stop it.
Then all four of us would enjoy this book.
I'll take it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's like when you're learning about like the summer solstice, you can color. And my tattoo art, whatever. You know what? Whatever. Dinosaurs. Yeah. My tattoo artist did all the coloring pages. So they're beautiful.
Cool.
They're
that's really awesome.
Nice.
Different stones.
Yeah.
I like to throw stones. Yeah. That's a healing thing for me. Yeah. It's very cathartic. Destruction. Oh, there you go. Kristen's read my book.
You told Jackie to buy her own.
Right.
No, Jackie can borrow it. And then you guys all just color different pieces of it. I
was trying to help you out, Lauren, but okay.
Right.
Hey man, you know what? That's okay. Buy a custom crystal pod. That's what pays the bills.
Right. Yeah. I'm saving up my pennies.
I'm super pissed that I missed the class. Like, I don't know where the last few months have gone, but Shelly shared it and she was like, we should go to this. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we should totally go to that. I'm 100% down. And then next thing I know, I see pictures of Kristen and Jackie at the thing. And I was like, God damn it.
So I'm going to have more. And
awesome.
I'm going to have one at Hillview Manor.
Nice.
And we're going to have one at ISS Con, which I know that's a little far. What's your book name? Dark Moonlight, Discovering Your World with Magic, Mysticism, and the Paranormal.
Love it.
And there's coloring pages.
Just the name kind of like settled me down and made me feel real zen there for a second.
It's not.
Maybe it was her
really,
voice.
A lot of it is about maybe. I mean, I was a meditation coach for a good
that makes sense.
Time. Good turn. Yeah. Which is funny because I can be real fucking loud and obnoxious, but I'll get your ass to meditate. I bet you. I bet you. Which is also in there because that's also important. Oh, best class ever. Yeah, Jackie and Kristen were there. I am going to have more though, but it's really cool because you take this and you do everything. You take it apart. We look at like the circuit board. You learn all like the big parts on the circuit board on how it makes it work. And you learn about why this is literally the exact fucking same thing as a DOS REM pod for $189.
Nice.
Sorry, Gary Gulka. But I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's so good though, because like
fix it.
They're very high quality.
Oh, this one. Yeah, this one, the back is open because I also take these apart and I strip them and I put new parts on them. And this is what's inside of a crystal pod.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And then I just teach people how to build them because why the fuck not? I don't give a shit. There's plenty of people to go around.
Right.
And I provide stickers, right, Jackie? And sometimes I forget my soldering iron, and then we have to fucking go through 30 of them because I'm sometimes forgetful.
Nice.
That's why I started nootropics.
I think it's super important because like when I started out, you know, I didn't have money for fucking equipment, you know, and you go like, okay, I'll just buy a few things. And like, you know, each thing is $400. Like, I'm a mom. I don't have $400, you know, to spend on each piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the stigma of going into like your first hunt and you have people with like fucking cases and cases and cases.
Right. And you're pulling out your cat ball and $25 K2. You know?
And they're like,
Right. And I mean, those things are great.
Snobs.
I literally use them on every investigation, but I'm just saying,
Right.
it's hard.
Dude, I build equipment and I barely own much equipment. I think the most expensive thing I own is a video camera.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
It's really not. It's really not. And 90% of the equipment that we use, and this is just an issue that I have with equipment. It is not it's not a criticism of the people using the equipment. It's not a criticism of anybody in the industry. It's not me attacking anybody other than equipment developers. But the lack of transparency with the equipment that we're using is so insane that we're using equipment and we're trying to collect data, especially people that are doing it very seriously, and we don't actually know how most of our equipment works.
Right.
Even the REM pod.
Yeah.
Even even the K2. And it's like and those are simple ass pieces of equipment. That's not saying like, oh, you should know. No.
Yeah, right.
There's no expectation to know. So we don't think about figuring it out and knowing.
And there's no way to prove it. So people could literally just do whatever. And we're just like, oh, this is what it means because that's what they told us.
Oh, that light turns on when it's yes? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why does the fucking light turn on when it's yes? Right. What is doing
what makes the light turn on? Like,
or even a REM pod. Well, it beeps when something touches it. Yeah. But why? Why does it beep? Right. Why does it beep? How does it know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, maybe I'll go bankrupt with it, but that's why I'm teaching people how to build the shit that I sell. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll be a little sad if you make a circular wooden REM pod with crystals all over it. Yeah, I'll be a little fucking sad because that'll fucking suck.
Right.
But like, good luck making it as pretty as mine.
Right, bitch.
But like,
yeah.
But like, I have, Dave Giuliano sending me a piece of equipment that he's letting me take apart. And like, I've had people at vendor shows that are just like, this is broken. And I'm like, bring it to me. And like, we'll take it apart and I'll show them like how their equipment works.
Yeah.
And like why it works and what is this piece and what is that? Yeah. And that's the thing, like the lights and the shiny things it's this distraction. And then we have these people that come out with these pieces of equipment that it's like insane. And it's like, wow, that's so amazing. That's so cool. I want to use it. But how does it work?
Right.
How does it work?
Right. Yeah.
Don't tell me that a ghost touches it. That's fucking stupid.
And like, how did you test that in your lab when you were creating this piece of equipment?
Right.
Did you say, okay,
hey,
are
Mom,
you watching a ghost touch it? Yeah.
Mom, can you touch this really quick?
Right.
And like,
there's no way to prove it. There's nothing that like says this is accurate.
And honestly, my red flag too. Ghosts. Yeah. Yes. And my big red flag too is like, mechanically, how does it work? Mechanically, how can I test this at home? What can I use mechanically? Right. And I have a lot, like I have like, my Tesla coil, I have like the electrostatic generator. And I have a lot of mechanical tools that I'll use to test out equipment. And I'm not going to build something that I can't mechanically test. Because if I can't tell you mechanically how it fucking works, then it is the biggest waste of time to use it in the paranormal, because that's not
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back out in the alley. Yeah, that's where I am right now. These dinosaurs are just a ruse.
And I wanted to go back to, I understand capitalism. I promise I do. And I understand that people are trying to, make money, whatever. But at the same time, like if we're actually treating this as a science and we're going to try to, solve how we can communicate with the other side and we all have the same goal, right? Like the backstabbery and like the secrecy and all of that stuff, like
backstabbery,
right? It's a good motto. I feel like if your goal is to actually make strides in that science and turn it into an actual science and get to a point where like we're not laughed at when we tell people what we do, then we're going to have to work together, especially equipment developers, because that's where new ideas come from, is when multiple people are working together on something like a think tank, get together.
Correct.
Make little changes.
I have like I am in Jurassic Park, Sage. I am.
What do you mean you thought?
Shut up, Nick. Oh my God, Nick, just go. Nick's just calling me out on everything. Me personally, the apps are funny.
That's it? Okay.
That's it.
So, I have started to, and honestly, Kristen she's learning how to build stuff, which is really, really cool. And she's exploring
Awesome.
she went to the workshop and she's allowing that to sort of continue and trying to like figure out how to build things on her own, which is really cool. I have a couple of actual equipment developers that I work closely with when it comes to brainstorming and sharing ideas and sharing how we're doing different things. And just like kind of going back and forth and developing these new pieces of equipment. And it's been really cool. Now, mind you, it's like 3 or 4 equipment developers, but I mean, to be honest, I've only been publicly in the paranormal as an equipment developer probably only for the past year.
Yeah.
But I think what the difference is that like, I know that proximity sensors, REM pods are really, really, oh yeah, she's making a REM pod out of a Bible. And I'm going to make a demon pod and we're just going to like let them hang out.
Nice.
But it's like, I have made such strides because I've been really, really fortunate to find people that do want to talk about this stuff.
Right.
And, not to, fuck it, I don't care. The world's sexist. It's been really easy to weed people out because a lot of equipment developers are men. And it's easy to sort of like, oh, you're not making eye contact with me. Okay, I got you. Then you're not, that's fine. You're not part of you're not part of the clan then. So it's been easy that way. But I have never wanted to be secretive about anything that I build because there's so many goddamn motherfucking people in this world, y'all.
Right.
Like, not just that though. None of your motherfucking equipment, guys. I don't care what it does. None of it is fucking original. It's not.
No.
You've either
it's
taken
just a different take on something else
and developed it into something else.
Yeah.
You've taken other technology and you're just putting it on your fucking head.
Right.
Like none of this shit is
right.
I can't handle when people are like, I just want to be original. You're not going to be, and that's such a superpower. Stop.
Yeah.
The only reason why mine are different is because I put fucking rocks on them.
Right,
I just had to make them artistically different.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, you're also not going out there saying, look at this brand new technology.
Right.
No. And I never say like, this is a ghost detector.
Yeah.
I've never once introduced a piece of equipment as even now I'll say, hashtag paranormal equipment.
Right.
But I'm never like, oh, this detects ghosts. Unless like there's a really cute little kid and I'm like, do you know what this is? Because they want one and they're like, it's a ghost detector. Then I'll be like, good job. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to be like, well, actually, Sally.
No, you idiot.
God, you're so stupid.
Where's your parents?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been saying for years that I think that it's gonna take one of these younger generations who's super good with equipment. Like, I swear to God, these kids are born like knowing how to use like iPads and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that it's going to take somebody who looks at our ancient equipment and just thinks that it's all bullshit and just comes up with something totally on their own. Like, we need to stop like just reinventing the wheel, And
that's like, but I'm going to be honest. I just don't think there's anything new to come up with because we have no fucking idea what we're working with, which is why like of course you can do brand new things when you're exploring the universe and the solar system because we're actually discovering things.
Right.
We're not. It's so funny. It's amazing that people are like, are you sure you're a paranormal investigator? Yeah, because I'm fucking realistic. She told me it was a good Nick. Pain in the ass. Thank you, Holly. Holly's the new moderator.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's why I'm going back down to brass tacks. That's why I'm doing something real motherfucking simple. I'm working with electromagnetic radiation, static electricity, and Nick Carboni. We're discussing some now, Nat and Elliot from ACG. They have done a lot of work with like music in the paranormal. And I find that so interesting.
I love it.
Nick had called me one day and he was like, man, what about like those frequency designs? And he's like, I'm super into that too. And I was like, there's like a whole,
that would be cool.
Dude. So it ended up with, I'm starting experiments this summer, but it's such a simple concept. And it's all just based on brass tacks energy. I'm not trying to find ghosts.
Right.
I'm not trying to talk to ghosts. I'm not trying to communicate at all. I'm literally just trying to find atmospheric differences in possible paranormal places.
Right.
And so that you can find out what causes phenomena. What's the atmosphere for possible paranormal phenomena? What happens in the space when people think that they see ghosts or when they experience this phenomena? I don't want to fucking talk to George. I mean, no offense, George, because very unpopular opinion, because I have the utmost respect for people with gifts. Oh man, we're about to.
Oh God, I need one of those.
But like, I don't think any of it is deceased people or afterlife. I think it's all interdimensional. I think that when mediums and psychics are kind of talking to people beyond the veil, the reason why they, are sending certain messages is just because it's a form of communication. But and I think that whatever is communicating with us or whatever is making contact with us on this side is far beyond anything that we could ever comprehend. So it's just communicating with us in a way that we can understand, in a way that we can relate to, and in a way that we can sort of feel personal about, so we can connect to it, so that we keep searching for it, so that we keep trying to make this connection. And it's just presented to us in this way because we're humans and we want to humanize everything. Fucking cats, dogs, trees, this fucking beef jerky. Like, we want so deeply to connect with stuff that it's like primed and ready for something to communicate with us, but it's so beyond our understanding that it has to sort of bring it down a bunch of notches. And then so we have paranormal phenomena and ghosts. Yeah. And I mean,
bring it down to dumb human brain level.
It's in ancient texts. I mean, it's even in like the Christian Bible. I mean, you have this sort of idea that like God and angels can't communicate with human beings. They have to send signs. Quantum entanglement. Yeah. Sunset Paranormal. And it's like, I'm so sorry, but I just, and it sucks because we connect so deeply with it. I mean, there were times after my mom died that I saw her on 2 different occasions and received messages from her through people. So it's like, I'm touched by that personally as well. You know what I mean? But I don't think I'm talking to my mom. Okay, there's like a little piece of me that I'm like, but maybe I am, because I don't know. I still wear her jewelry. That's my protective stuff, is her jewelry, her watch, her rings. That's my every haunt. I make sure I have her. She comes with me in my camper when I travel. So it's like, maybe in a way there's a sense that I'm speaking to echoes of her. She sounds way healthier now that she's in another place, the messages that I get from her, which also kind of makes me feel like I'm not talking to her. I'm almost talking to a version that I wish that I knew. So it's like, it's just so much bigger. So crystal pods, I'm just looking for like atmospheric data, because what it is is so beyond anything that we're ever going to understand. So I'm just like, well,
Right.
let's just see if the temperature changes when people think that they see ghosts.
Right.
And that's all I'm studying and working with. So.
Right.
No, I mean, it makes sense. And a lot of the things, you know, people will say they'll walk into a room and it's like, oh, I feel nauseous. I feel lightheaded. I feel goosebumps, whatever. Well, like all of those things can be associated with electromagnetic fields. You know, if you are close to a circuit breaker box in your house, it's going to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it makes sense to measure the atmosphere.
But it's also too, if you think about, thank you, Nick. Think about when you just in your head, you'll be able to feel it. It's pretty visceral. Bye, Nat. I love you so fucking much. Tell Elliot I said hi too. Imagine yourself right now. Imagine yourself, and imagine the person that you love more than anybody in the world. Your cat, your dog. I don't give a fuck who it is. Your spouse, and you are planning a surprise party for them. You are inviting all their friends. You are getting their favorite foods. You're getting their favorite drinks. You're cooking their favorite dinner, and you're going to have this whole spread, decorations, everything, the whole fucking 9-yard surprise party. You're telling them like, oh, can you go to the grocery store to get me something? Because in that half an hour span of time that they go to the grocery store and come back, all of their family and friends are all going to come to your house. And when they walk through that door, everybody's going to yell surprise, and it's going to be so exciting. And this is not paranormal, but in that half an hour of that person going to the store, that excitement, that nervousness, that fullness, that heaviness, that anxiety are all of these things that you feel that you don't feel maybe on a normal day-to-day basis with your regular emotions, but they're heightened because there's this like palpable moment that's happening. And as much as I also agree that like we can have these atmospheric things, I also think that like emotions like that, they do stick around, and stone tape theory. That's power that you're churning up in that one space. And maybe 100 years from now, if the temperature is just right and the time of day is just right, somebody's going to walk into that room and they're going to be like, whoa, I feel this like rush of anxiety. I'm feeling like fear, but not in a bad way. And it's like, could that have just been this echo, this sort of like pulse from that moment? That just happened through time. That's why I think old places are more haunted than newer places, because old places have had so much more time soaking up the energy of human beings. Because we might be close to a circuit breaker that has a lot of excess electromagnetic radiation, but we also admit that. We also emit electromagnetic radiation in roughly like the radio wave frequency. And we're doing that all the time. That's why we can set off a REM pod. That's why we can set off a K2 if it gets, really close to us. So or it's interdimensional people trying to talk to us. I don't fucking know.
I mean, that's a whole thing.
Or it's all of it.
and especially because a lot of these haunted places that we go to are places where like traumatic fucking shit happened at these places. You know what I mean? So like, if we're being honest, yes, we all complain about our lives and the things that we have going on. But if we're being honest, we have a fucking cakewalk life.
We're not getting fucking lobotomies.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Like,
there are still very traumatic things happening in the world today. We are separated apart from them because we are white people. So there are still a lot of travesties happening, but we're not getting sent to the fucking loony bin because we read a book and now we're going to get a lobotomy because our husband's like, she disagreed with me too much.
Right. And if we get sick, like, yeah, it sucks, but like if they got sick, even if you get a cut on your hand, that could literally mean death. Well, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I just
gangrene from a fucking paper cut. Yeah.
Right.
And then but then you have, on top of all that, you have everything else that happened in the history there. You have places that have switched, and then like that energy is like where Penhurst Asylum. You know what?
Supposed to be going soon.
Yeah, Penhurst. I've never been to Penhurst.
I have.
Yeah.
I have not been to Penhurst.
Kristen said, "Hey, I had a lobotomy."
Hey, I had a lot. I mean,
that's different.
Listen, you read too many books, okay, Kristen?
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Have you tried not smiling so much?
Have you tried not smiling so much,
Right.
Kristen? Because now you're practicing witchcraft, and you're a woman, and you're touching tools.
I think it's because your husband thought you were just getting a little too lippy.
Yeah.
So he sent
Did
you
you
to the
argue
loony
with
bin.
your husband? Maybe don't do that.
Jeez. Women, right? Women, am I right?
Am I right?
Yikes.
I did read something that there was like, there's a list of a million reasons why a woman could be sent to an asylum.
Oh my
and one of
fucking
them
God.
was literally having a uterus. And I'm like, what? What?
That shit's fucked up. I bet you it's like bleeding. Like women don't have, they would just hide their periods.
Yeah.
And then the one that was like, oops, there's a blood stain. They're like, witch!
Right.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
History is fucking traumatic for ladies. I'll tell you what.
Right.
Traumatic AF. Brain surgery jokes.
Brain surgery jokes.
Yeah, but now you have a really cool fucking haircut. And I'll tell you right now, I want you to keep that haircut, Kristen, because it looks badass.
Doesn't it look so good?
It looks so fucking good. She has such a good shaped head.
I know. It looks so
I love
good.
it. I told her she looked like a shield maiden, like
Oh my God,
like
so badass.
Yeah.
We need to get, she needs to get like a tattoo on it.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be
sweet. So cool. So dope. Yeah, because she's already like very Viking-esque.
Right.
So it just looks even more badass.
And then her hair is perfect. Like she went to a wedding and braided it.
Oh my God, and it looked beautiful.
So good. Kristen is full of the brain surgery jokes.
$50,000 haircut. I mean, it looks like a $50,000 haircut. It's worth every penny.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you got it. Aww.
Me too.
I love you too. It's great. But yeah, man. Dinosaurs.
Yeah, man is right. It was intense.
Dinosaurs.
There's so many different things that we could easily dive into.
Bruh.
If we had 47 hours to chat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I could go forever. I could go for fucking ever.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to all of it. And I think that's what keeps us all interested.
Right.
Right.
But that's what also creates so much of like the rift, is because there are so many ideas. And it's really, really hard to hammer down any of them.
Yeah.
And to be focused on any of them.
And people seem to be so like, they're so passionate about their version of it. And like, so if you say something else, they're like, you're an idiot. And I'm like,
I know
okay,
that's why it's so hard sometimes to talk about it. Because I'm
So why is your version of the imaginary friends different than my version of the imaginary friends? Like, we're all sitting in the dark with flashlights, bro.
Not just that, but and it's like appreciate all these different approaches and like work together on it, but don't like tell me because I'm not thanking my fucking flashlight that I'm not Bree, that I'm not Bree, that I'm not like investigating properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what gets on my nerves, is that when I'm like, correct. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to correct you if you're a fucking dick, because I might not think that it's, Uncle Jerry, but I'm going to treat that place like it's fucking Uncle Jerry's house. And I'm going to be very respectful.
Right.
Just in case. Because it's just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to thank my flashlight though. I'm just not.
You know what? Okay. You know what's another pet peeve of mine?
Thank you.
With the equipment is I hate so much when people put something down on the floor and they say, "Can you touch this? It's not going to hurt you."
Yeah, we have this conversation all the time. How do they know it's not going to hurt them?
Not just that, but when they're like, "Can you please touch my SB7 right there on the diode?"
Right.
They're like, "What? Touch this dark magic box on the what?"
Right? And now I used to take the approach of like, here Fido when I would investigate. And it always felt so weird. And like, so I was like, well, what kind of ways can I sort of like describe in this time period of what this is? Right. And it was never just come in, put it down and touch that. Because it's like, what would I do if somebody just walked up to me and put something on the floor and said, touch that? I would go, what?
I'd be like,
I'd kick it.
I'd kick it.
Yeah.
Right?
Or be
except paranormal investigators would be like, yeah.
Right. That's what they want.
Yeah. So it's because we want to humanize things so badly. And we're also, I don't know. I think I always teeter the edge of being like the world's biggest cunt and like the world's most beloved, because I'm also like, sorry, that's my comfort word.
Makes sense. It's very comforting.
I love that. It's my favorite word. I totally forget what shitty thing I was going to say. That's probably good.
Something about cunt, yada, yada, yada.
Cunt, yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada.
Another t-shirt idea.
Oh, cunt. Yes. Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
That's fucking perfect. This is good dinner conversation, huh, Kristen?
Right.
You were talking about putting something down, blah, blah, blah. This, that, I'm also just like, the whole like walking in and everything is Fido. And we're just going in, not doing any kind of baseline and just putting down a bunch of stuff and being touch it. My name's Lauren, touch it.
Right. That's what she said.
Right? But that is. And it's and as much as I think that could, maybe work eventually, it's almost just like that's what we saw on TV. And what we don't know about a lot of the paranormal entertainment is that they're usually in those locations for like a few days, if not a couple weeks.
Right.
And that's what when at Michigan Paracon, when I was watching the Ghost Hunters panel. and but that's what they were saying too. They were like, you guys think that we're there for a night and like that's what it is. He's like, but there's sometimes that we're there for 2 weeks, but we're just wearing the same clothes because the directors are like, you got to wear the fucking same clothes. We got to make it look like you were only there for 3 days. But he's like, but we've been places weeks.
Yeah.
Because that's how long it takes them to actually document like the minuscule amount of data that they get is weeks.
And that's what we explain to people too. Like when people come to the seminary, the lesser version of that show you're talking about was there, and they were there for 5 nights, 6 days.
The lesser version.
Not Jason. And they're there for 5 nights, 6 days.
Yeah.
And they're taking all of that footage and they're putting it into maybe 7 minutes of actual TV show, because you also have the interviews, the reveal, the history, the B-roll, all of that stuff. History. I mean, use that term.
I wish they would have taken that long to at least, extend their Google research of the history of this. You know what I mean?
But like, it's so much, and you put it into 7 minutes, and then people expect that that's what it's going to be. Like, so they'll come into a public investigation. We'll be doing a public hunt at the building, and people will be like, can you knock over that chair? Can you close that door? Can you turn this light on? Can you touch my hair? Like,
tonight sucks. Can we have our money back?
Yeah, right?
Yes. It's horrible. I hate it.
This is nothing like TV. Well, yeah, exactly.
No fucking shit. Welcome to real life. It's boring.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and pay to rent the building for 5 days? And
then my friend sitting on the back porch of the seminary, that's why I come mostly.
Right. Oh, you don't like investigating? Have you tried back porch sitting? Because that's a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah. Seriously. Just come in nice weather.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Easy to
it's just so frustrating.
Oh no, yeah. And it's just that expectation, I think, really harms investigating, and it's not even to pick apart how people investigate. It's not, but that's the expectation that's all been set for us.
Right.
And I know we have people in the industry that are like, I've been investigating for 25 years, and like that's great. But full well, we're all taken from those TV shows that we were watching when we were fucking coming home from middle school or high school or wherever. And we're bringing that into our investigations, and then we're not changing our methods at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And I put people in multiple categories. But there's a category for just for fucking fun.
Yep.
Just for fucking fun. And you know what? There's a lot of fucking investigations that I go do that are just for fucking fun because I'm like, I don't fucking care, man. I just want to feel creeped the fuck out. I don't even care. And then there are some where I'm like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I have the experiments all laid out and I have exactly the kind of data that I want to do.
And I'm going to document everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm all for fun.
And and sometimes the fun is just, that's why I like the places that are close to me. Cause I'm like, sometimes I'll just fucking go there if I just want to like test out a piece of equipment. And then I'm just wandering around and like, how far can I go in the complete dark before I run into something or before I get freaked out? And I'll do that. Like I did that Ohio State Reformatory. Walked around that place in the fucking dark with no flashlight billions of times, no equipment. And then there's of course like this side that is just very analytical. And then there's this place in the middle where it's like the kind of like the
Yeah.
Need another coffee?
No, just like filtering myself. I don't want to, because I don't actually want to be a dick. Because I think that this is all so important. And my personal opinion on, as long as you're being respectful and you're not being a fucking asshole in these places, you're not destroying stuff. Like, do whatever you want. Don't be a dick.
Exactly.
Don't try to. Don't like. You know. I don't know.
It's like just because somebody's style is different than yours doesn't make yours better than theirs. That's what fucking pisses me off.
And if you don't like it, cool. Just don't investigate with them.
Right. Or don't watch their show or don't watch their TikTok or don't watch their YouTube, whatever. Just don't. Why? Why are we fucking, oh my God.
I love my husband so much, but I used to really enjoy watching Ghost Adventures. It's funny. Okay? And now I can't, because every 2 seconds he's like, oh God. And I'm like, can I just enjoy this bad entertainment just in peace?
Right. That's what it is. Yeah. It's just entertainment.
I know, it's so funny.
I mean, as much as I pick on the whole show itself,
I love it. I love all the drama. You know what?
Let's see what kind of stupid shit they're doing today.
There's so much drama too. He's such like a prima donna, but
I'm not gonna lie. If I come across it, I'm gonna watch a little bit of it. Probably not the whole thing, probably, but watch some.
Dude, I'm sorry. His haunted museum show is fucking tits. Point blank tits. Yeah, they have Eli Roth Eli Roth creates like a mini movie out of all of the different pieces that he has in his museum, and it's dope. It's cool. I like it.
Nice. Yeah. Bree, we talk about this all the time too, because, you know, most of the time when we're doing an investigation, I use that term loosely because that's not really what we do.
When you're exploring the unknown.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of times it's when you're sitting there packing up or you're just having a snack break or, you know, whatever. That's when like your equipment starts going off and whatever.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Every single EVP I've ever caught was not okay, minus the one from House of Wills. That was like a response to something. But every other EVP I've ever caught was literally just because we were either like walking around or bullshitting or just like getting to a location, and you end up getting these little tidbits.
Right.
And I think it is just because it's either like there's this, when I used to teach a lot of workshops around like applied magic and witchcraft. And I would have these discussions with people that are just like, I feel like when I'm not like hard, like focusing on like my manifesting or anything like that, so many things will happen. So many synchronicities will happen and things like that too. But if I were like focused, like I'm going to try to focus on that cup and I'm going to make it fucking move.
Right.
It's never going to happen because it's like it's almost like we're getting too much into our bodies and we need to get more into our energy. And when we're more into just our energy and we're just relaxed out of these meat suits, we connect so much more with the energy in a space, with an energy in our magic, with our ancestors and all this stuff. We have to detach a little bit from like the what the meat suits are doing.
Yeah. Because you could feel the difference. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're doing an active investigation, you got your equipment out, you're recording, whatever, you're sitting there and you're
quiet.
You're tense, you know, like the lack of sound first of all, makes me super tense. You know, you're scared, whatever. Maybe not scared. Sorry, I'm not trying to say you guys are scared.
No, it's
but
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like you're on edge. So
your
your body's
anxiety's
all
there.
tensed up, whatever. And then when you're just hanging out and talking to your friends, then everything loosens up. You're a lot more open-minded because you're not so laser focused on all that shit. Like, that's the good shit.
1,000%.
Heisenberg, it sounds like our group. That's the way we do it.
Even when I'm just doing like science experiments, I'll set it up and then we'll just kind of like,
right,
because it's a part of it.
And then plus, like you were just saying before, if I'm in a room and someone comes in and they put something on the ground and they're like, touch that thing. Oh, you can't do it. You're not strong enough. You can't touch that, whatever. Okay. But then as soon as that person walks away and is talking or something, I'm going to be like, I'm going to see what this fucking thing, I could touch this. You know what I mean? Like,
for me,
you're
I'm
not
just
creating
like,
a demand.
Don't touch that. Tell them to fuck off.
Right?
Yeah, that's yuck energy. I don't love, and I want to say this with love too, because I know that is kind of something that people do like to use, like heighten the intensity of the situation in order to elicit a response. But why? Why? You know, I know babies cry. I don't have to punch it in the face to know that.
Right.
Why?
You are so full of like amazing t-shirt ideas. I know babies cry, but why do I need to punch them in the face?
I'm not yet. Yeah. But like,
it's just intention. You know, if you're sitting there and you're talking and being demanding, even if you're asking nicely, I feel like it's still demanding. You know, touch this if the answer is yes, whatever. I feel like you're being very demanding.
And not just that, there's no baseline, so it's like,
Right.
How the fuck do you know that's even a yes, y'all?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, create your I did people, and it's fine. I don't even care. Sometimes we have bad habits. My bad habit is I love the flashlight method. Listen, I don't document it. I don't use it as actual data, but god damn it, it's fucking fun. Okay. Some people like phone apps. I like the flashlight method.
Yep,
and I'm like, and it's so funny because Greg, do you guys know Greg and Kathy Fikedek at Ohio State Reformatory? Greg, all the time, he'll be like, he's like, it's crazy because he's watched me on like my whole journey and stuff. He's like, it's been so awesome just like watching you grow so much and like, you're teaching me things and stuff like that. And he's like, and I'm so glad that you're past the flashlight method. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'll fucking set those up right now. And he's like, God damn it. I'm like, I can't help it.
Yeah.
I can't help it. But like when I set up a baseline for it, I'm talking, it's like, I got to have like 3 hours set aside if I'm going to do the flashlight method, because I'm like, I'm going to make this fucking work. God damn it. And so we'll do a baseline for like an hour.
Right.
And I got some great stuff at Hillview Manor. It's on YouTube. I got some like, I was even kind of like, are ghosts real?
Okay.
Or this is an interdimensional being just, feeding me a little dose of serotonin, which is great. Thank you. Thank you. And I do thank them in that video. I'm like, thank you. Fuck. Thanks. I'm so excited.
Damn it.
But I was like, I don't give a shit. That's deserving of a fucking thank you. God damn it.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I say that in the video too.
Yeah.
But I mean, so who cares? So it's like, I'm wrong all the time with what I think, and my opinions are always wrong. And there's a superpower in that. I don't have to strongly attach to anything. I disprove my own equipment all the fucking time.
Right.
That's just what you should do.
Right. Yeah. I think people are just so hard-headed and stubborn and like know-it-alls. Like you don't know shit. This is a made-up science.
It is a fuck yes.
Nobody knows anything.
Yes.
It's a philosophy.
Instead of be nice, you got to be right.
Right.
Everything's just a theory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, I even go as further I will very specifically explain what scientific theory is, because that has nothing to do with paranormal. This is all personal theory. This is zero science theory, because science theory is backed by data. It's backed by facts. It's backed by studies. None of this is science. None of this is theory. None of this is anything. We are literally in the infantile, not even fucking born yet stages of this field. Everybody calm the fuck down.
Right?
Let's just do some cool shit and take some fucking temperature and see if fucking flashlights turn on and off, okay?
And look at some cool fucking buildings.
Dude, look at some cool fucking buildings. And like put some rocks on stuff, guys.
Right.
Yeah. Put some rocks on stuff.
Put some fucking rocks on some stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
So yeah.
I love it.
Me too.
Heisenberg?
Do you have anything you would like to plug?
We all have jobs.
Where could people follow you so that they can find out when your classes are and how to buy your book and all of that stuff?
Lauren Hantz on all social media or laurenhantz.com.
Okay. Get inappropriately touched.
Get inappropriately touched too. No, I lay some hardcore boundaries. I do not do getting touched. I've gotten touched once. No, thank you.
We did it. Okay, so sorry, I just keep talking.
That's okay.
We did a public investigation, and
I like
this
how
guy
I'm like
is
saying
talking.
it's okay, like it's my podcast. Like that's okay, girl. Keep going.
And Heisenberg just like
we're doing this public hunt, and this guest who is not one of our people, not like, you know what I mean? He's just somebody who's been there for the first time, goes, if anybody's here with us, you have permission to touch anybody in this room.
No.
That's what I said.
Absolutely not.
First of all, I'm a volunteer. I don't get paid, so I don't have to watch my mouth. That's my theory.
Good.
But I said, excuse the fuck out of me. I said, this man right here is giving you permission to touch him. Nobody else in this room has given you permission. And everybody just kind of looked at me, and I was like, that's fucking wrong. You don't do that.
Boundaries and consent are a fucking real thing, you fuck. I hope you're watching this.
Yeah.
In the paranormal world, too.
Heisenberg. I hope, man.
Yeah.
I want to say that in real life sometime, and you just like pop out of a door frame. Yeah. And then I'll put it on a pod. Yeah. Which that's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Nice.
I love
Custom sounds. No, I agree.
But yeah, definitely everybody follow Lauren. She's amazing. Obviously, you've learned if you
a little unhinged.
Didn't know her. It's okay. It's the best kind of
people.
You
fit in perfectly.
Yeah. Never let them know your next move, right, Lauren?
No.
You can jive.
Dinosaurs. Oh God! I just slammed my face into this.
Oh. Ouch.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Jeez.
Well, I appreciate you being on so much. It was a blast.
Yes.
I know.
It was a really fast hour, so I think we need to have a part 2 some
point.
Fuck yeah.
See, that's the way to do it. Part 2 instead of 2 hours, man. That was
yeah.
I'm super into a part 2.
Because they always have those guests that sometimes aren't so talkative. So that second hour is always
you don't have to worry about that with me.
Lauren, 2 cups of coffee. She's great.
We'll definitely have you back on. Make sure you drink all the coffee again. That'd be amazing.
So
thank you.
Spoiler alert. I'm tired. So this is actually not even zany me.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Wow.
I like it.
I'm pretty tame right now.
Oh, geez.
Jimmy says, awesome. Now go build my pod.
Jim. I have his pod in the other room right now. I just finished your paint job, buddy.
Nice.
Now she's going to go back since you were mean and put a middle finger on it.
He was him and Karen, I believe that's her name, Jimmy and Karen. I was on a consult with them last night, and he basically was just like, just do your fucking thing. I love your work.
Right.
And I was like, fuck yeah. So I'm excited.
That's
these are his crystals. These are some of his crystals.
Awesome.
Some iolite. Yeah. So I'm making a really cool one for Jimmy.
Patience.
Hi, Patience.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
don't
see you
pretend like you love
season.
all of us, Patience.
Right.
Just love
She's
Lauren.
like, I love you all, but mostly Lauren.
But especially it's because I slip her dollar bills when I see her.
Nice.
Here you go, Patience. Here you go.
Kathy. Her name's Kathy.
I'm an asshole. Okay, in my defense, I think you only said her name once, but now it's Kathy with a C, and I'll never forget.
Just kidding. Ask her in 5 minutes. I'm the same way. It's the ADHD, man. It goes in my brain and like literally right out. And people are like, "Oh, just repeat it as soon as you hear it." It doesn't matter. I will repeat it and then forget it. It's gone.
If I meet somebody like 2 to 3 times, then it sticks.
Yeah.
But like it has to be that connection a couple times, and then it really makes sense.
85 times.
You think 5? Okay,
Yeah.
5's a good one. That's a good number.
And if somebody doesn't like look like their Facebook picture, or if they have a picture that's not them, I will not even know who they are. I'll be like, oh my God, we've been friends on Facebook for 5 years. And I'm like, wait, are you Snoopy or those Clovers?
There's still people that approach me at cons that walk up, "Hey, Goose, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hi, you."
Right. Yep. Like, I was just going to, yeah, that's been a thing. Because I've only been doing cons for like 2 years-ish. And now that it's like, this is going to so stupid. Now that I'm becoming a little more like well known in this general tri-state whatever area, people will, "Oh, that's my husband." That's because I gave him a hard time about never watching any of the podcasts I'm on.
Oh, you picked the wrong one to watch.
Oh no, this is all totally up his alley. He's just like the urban explorer. Let me go places.
Oh, cool.
Oh awesome. Yeah, he's like fucking herding cats at a haunted location. I'd be like, "Oh,
right.
And he's
like
looking
crawl
at the
space under the basement, like
no." And I'm like, "Babe, where are you?" And he was like, "I don't know. I found like an attic. I think I'm like 3 buildings down." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Just by himself. Came back and he was like, "I think something talked to me." And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" No fear. We're going to Waverly, and I'm just gonna send him down to the body shoot by himself with no flashlight, and he'll just be like, "Boop boop boop."
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet baby angel, that one. Yeah, we gotta do part 2 before this is 2 hours long.
Yeah. We'll definitely have part 2. I want to thank you again for coming on the show. It was great to like actually talk to you.
I know, right? I feel like I just see you guys.
Right.
I get to be part of it.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great times. Next week we do have a special guest. We got Dale Quigley and Michael John coming on from the Paranormal Voice.
Yay!
I was on their show Tuesday night, and I had a blast, and we didn't finish our conversation, so I figured, you know what, let's just extend on our show this Thursday. So
that's not really fair.
What's that?
We weren't part of the conversation.
Right. You know what? I'm not coming on next week. No,
what
like actually, I'll be in Florida. So
you said you were continuing the conversation. You didn't get to finish. Say,
Denise and I are just going to go on a different show together.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a lady show.
She's going to be drunk in Florida, so I mean,
we'll just have a spinoff.
All righty, kids. Denise, what? I mean, you're over there.
Please,
you're over there.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be a fucking.
We love you guys. We'll see you next Thursday. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Bye.